himself up from his chair with a grunt and wandered into the living room. Staring out the marred picture window that overlooked Main Street and the horse farm across the road, he touched the floral curtain gently between gnarled fingers, almost reverently. Molly made these. She made most of the curtains in the house. She made this house special. I wanted to fix the old place up. I told Molly we represented Jasper, being on Main Street and all. Molly was practical. She loved the woods and flowers. She said we didn't need to spend our savings to please others. She said the only person one had to respect was oneself. His shoulders seemed to slump farther, and he stroked the curtain one last time before pushing it away. She made these to appease me, I think. I would have done more, but... Ezra's voice trailed off. Hannah knew the "but" was Molly's life ending unexpectedly on the heels of their 42nd anniversary. Hannah remembered Molly as the sunnier half of the couple, always ready with a glass of lemonade or a maple biscuit to make someone feel at home. Molly seemed happy in this house just as it was, Hannah said, feeling her words were inadequate. He nodded. And now the vultures are here. They want me to leave. I know. They've descended upon the inn. I'm sorry you have to endure that lot. That lot were Ezra's 2 nephews and niece, the children of his 2 sisters and 1 brother. They'd come to convince their uncle to sell the ruined house and move into a retirement home in Rutland. Hannah figured they had a week at most before Ezra booted them out of town. Only they weren't totally wrong. This home was more than Ezra could care for, physically or financially, and the fire had rendered it barely inhabitable. It was only a matter of time before the town stepped in. Hannah said, "Given the fire, I'm not sure you can stay in this house, Ezra. Maybe it is time to think about an alternative." Nonsense. I'll keep spraying everything down with vinegar. The smell will go away eventually. It was an electrical fire. You're lucky the house is still standing. Didn't the electrician tell you there may be more faulty wiring in the house? Nonsense. She was confused. It was just a squirrel. A squirrel that is no doubt still living in the attic, Hannah thought. Nothing in the house worked. The plumbing was unreliable. The heat was sporadic, and the 1 window air conditioner had pooped out years ago. And Ezra's house was quite literally tilted. From the outside, it looked like the wonky-wacky house from a children's book, with sagging turrets and a skewed porch. What had once been well-tended flower gardens were now overgrown by wild roses, Canadian goldenrod, morning glory, and purple loosestrife, an invasive species that Hannah had been trying unsuccessfully to weed out. It was as though Mother Nature was reclaiming Ezra's house 1 plant, 1 tree branch at a time, and Ezra was letting her do it. Inside, the house was a maze of books and papers with slanted, scarred, random-width pine floors and weathered, water-stained wallpaper. He'd left it exactly as it had been when Molly was alive, and then filled it with stuff. Thankfully, the room where the fire had started was kept empty of the stuff, which by some miracle had helped to contain the fire. The huge living room, lined as it was with photographs of Molly, had been Ezra's homage to his late wife. Now, it was a charred relic. "Ezra," Hannah said softly, "you know I'm your friend." Ezra's head turned sharply. "Is this where you also asked to buy my property?" "Oh, for God's sake, Ezra!" "I'm sorry, Hannah," he said more softly. "I'm just so tired of the vultures. It seems like everyone wants a piece of this place. Now that the housing market is booming again, the jerk next door calls me every day, like I would sell to him.